Fang and Ed Graney here, and I feel like I came underdressed to the formal here. Ed in a nice suit, ready to head out to the Raider game here this Thursday. We are in San Jose right now, headed to the new stadium, Levi Stadium. I'm very excited about that.
You are, because you're a Niner fan. She'll be completely completely biased tonight, and she'll be rooting for a team, which she shouldn't do. The Raiders tonight are playing San Francisco, who I think Willy Wonka might be the quarterback. We don't know who this person is. His first name is Nick. If the Raiders lose tonight, they might not win a game this year. So if you're watching this afterwards and they've lost this game, it's bad news for the Raiders.
Yeah, most likely everyone will be watching this later because I'm going to bring in Adam Hill later tonight. He's going to come in and do some picks with us as well, whether by email or by Skype. We're going to have Adam Hill and his picks as well, so make sure to keep here for those picks. First of all, we're going to start with Ed's picks and my picks. We've got a interesting week, a lot of shuffling going around with the trade deadline. So for me, I'm going to look for the waiver wire first because I think there's some moves that have been made that have left openings with certain teams, such as Denver. We had Demaryius Thomas who left. He was shipped out to Houston, which is funny because they're actually playing at Denver. But that leaves a hole there. So I think that Courtland Sutton is going to be the guy that's going to step up and fill in those shoes. And I think that he's going to be a big pickup on the waiver wire. So Courtland Sutton is my guy. Ed, who are you going with to pick up?
Is it just my luck because my fantasy teams aren't very good this year that I have both Golden Tate and Demaryius Thomas who have now switched teams? It's not a good look. Although I think Tate has a bye, so thank you very much for that. You know what? On the waiver wire, I'm actually going to go to an old guy, an old name we know, Ryan Fitzpatrick of Tampa Bay. We know Jameis has now thrown 100,000 interceptions. They're done with him, I think. I don't think he'll ever play at Tampa Bay. Ryan Fitzpatrick's back. The first 3 games this year, Ryan Fitzpatrick actually had an average of over 25 PPR points a week where he averaged over 400 yards passing. So you know what? If you're a fantasy owner and your quarterback is on a bye, take a run at Ryan Fitzpatrick. If he has another big game, thank us later.
Yeah, I was thinking about a week ago, maybe Beathard could be somebody to pick up, but not anymore.
Willy Wonka is not available.
So now moving to the big start of the week for me, I'm going to go with old man Peterson, Adrian Peterson. This guy is showing shades of 2008 in the run game right now. He put up major yards last week, I believe over 140. So I think he's going to keep it going, especially in this Falcons game. I think that he's going to have a lot of openings against a kind of a soft defense. So I'm going to stick with Adrian Peterson to continue streaking. Who you got, Ed?
I'm actually got Latavius Murray. I know Dalvin Cook's, he's back practicing. He's close. Even if he plays this week, I don't think he'd be a full go in terms of carries and workload. So I'll go one more week with Latavius Murray. Detroit is sixth worst against opposing running backs. Latavius Murray the last 3 weeks has averaged more than 19 points PPR. I think he's had a total like 287 yards, 4 touchdowns, 8 or 10 catches for 56 yards. So one more week at least with Latavius Murray for the Vikings.
Actually, I played against him 2 weeks ago, and I almost lost my game. It was very close, but I was lucky to get away with it because I have Todd Gurley. So moving on to the sits of the week, a lot of guys always up, a lot of tough defenses. This is the NFL, so I'm going to tell you to sit Alex Collins, who really hasn't been producing the numbers. I remember earlier when we started this fantasy show, Ed, he was one of the guys Adam Hill and I thought was going to be a big breakout for this year. Well, he hasn't really done that, and I don't think that he's going to do it this week against the Steelers. So I'm telling you to sit Alex Collins. Ed, who's the guy for you?
Well, I'll tell you in a second, but I'm just savoring the moment that Adam picked something wrong in the beginning of this year. I'm very excited about that, so I'll just savor that moment. Okay, I'm ready to go. My sit this week is Big Ben Roethlisberger from the Pittsburgh Steelers. Got a broken index finger on the left hand, which, transferring and the snap and everything he has to do with the left hand. But more importantly than that, he's not very good when he goes to Baltimore. The last 5 trips into Baltimore, 5 touchdowns, 5 interceptions, an average of like 220 yards passing. I have the Baltimore defense in one of my leagues, and they're sink or swim. But when they're swimming and they're good, like they usually are against the Steelers in Baltimore, they're really good. So I'm going to sit Big Ben this week. He's not ever really great when he goes to Baltimore. And if you've got a better option, maybe Ryan Fitzpatrick. Switch those out for this week because I don't think Big Ben has a big game there.
Again, remember the time we did the whole phases of Ryan Fitzpatrick? Well, he went all the way back down, hit bottom, so now the circle is starting again. He's coming back. He's coming back around. So next week, we'll be back with some more, keeping you on top of your game with all the best in waiver wire picks, who to start, who to sit. Keep it here with Fantasy Outlaws. For Ed Graney, Adam Hill, and myself, Heidi Fang, give us all a follow on Twitter and keep up with us on reviewjournal.com.